Welcome to Speakeasy Spirits. Every time I'm at the liquor store, I see more and more shelf space being dedicated to pre-made cocktails. Manhattans, Old Fashions, Negronis, all sorts of drinks being pre-made. All you need to do is pour them over ice. But are they any good? That's why I'm on the other side of the bar today. I won't be mixing the cocktails, I'll just be drinking them. We're going to try every pre-made Mai Tai that I was able to find in stores over the last couple of months. I'll only be looking at the ones made with actual rum, and we'll see if these are any good, or if I should go back to the other side of the bar and keep making them myself. Trader Vic's original 1944 Mai Tai recipe used a 17-year-old Wray and Nephew rum. The supply of that ran out pretty quickly, and they switched to a 15-year-old. Supply of that ran out pretty quickly, and a few years later, they moved on to blending a rum. And that's what we're going to do today. Most tiki bars today will use a blend of rums in their Mai Tai recipe that usually includes at least one Jamaican rum. Today we're going to be using this Smith & Cross Jamaican, a Hamilton 86, Orange Curacao, Orgeat, and the lime. The recipe at Trader Vic's bars called for the juice of 1 lime. That's not an accurate measurement, so we're going to go with 3/4 of an ounce of lime. Now we're going to add 1/2 ounce of Orange Curacao. I'm using Pierre Fernand Dry Curacao here. And then 1 ounce of each of our rums. There's the Smith & Cross Jamaican. That's going to add some funky Jamaican rum notes. And then one of my favorite rums, the Hamilton 86. This is a Demerara rum. It's a little sweet, a little hint of molasses. It really makes a good Mai Tai blend. Trader Vic's original recipe calls for 1/3 of an ounce of Orgeat and 1/4 ounce of simple syrup. We're going to simplify things and just take this up to 1/2 ounce of Orgeat, or you could just make your own Orgeat and add a little more sugar to it for your Mai Tais. Now we're going to shake that over ice for about 15 seconds. I like to serve my Mai Tais on 1 large cube of ice, but you could definitely pour this over crushed ice or just open pour it and use the ice you shook with. Now normally I would garnish this with a handful of mint, maybe a lime wheel or the spent lime shell, but since we're tasting the pre-mixed cocktails today, we're going to keep things on an even playing field and not use any garnish. Let's go back to the other side of the bar and give it a taste. Now we've got our Mai Tai made from scratch, we'll use this as the baseline against all of these other pre-mixed Mai Tais. Unlike a lot of tiki cocktails, this is not fruit forward. It's citrusy, but the lime does not overpower the rum flavors. This recipe was really designed for the rum to be the star of the show. Since he was using a 17-year-old rum, Trader Vic didn't want to cover that up with a lot of other flavors. A lot of people might avoid tiki drinks because they think they're too complicated or too fruity, but this is really a great introduction into tiki. If you're a drinker of Manhattans and Old Fashions and you want to start exploring some rums, I would say start with a Mai Tai. This is going to be more up your alley. Let's go over what we'll be trying today. First we've got Bartender in a Box. This is like a boxed wine, but it's a Mai Tai. Then we've got On the Rocks Mai Tai, Myers Rum Mai Tai, Cutwater's Tiki Rum Mai Tai. This little can here is Post Meridian's Mai Tai. Stirring's Mix. We'll be mixing this up according to the instructions on the bottle. And last, our oddball here, it's a Mai Tai beer from Highwire. So let's start down at the end with Bartender in a Box. Now this one bills itself as being made with premium rum, real fruit juice, and cane sugar. So maybe there's a chance it's good. The only instructions here say to serve over ice. And there we have our Bartender in a Box Mai Tai. Now there's no information on the box about what fruit juices are in here, what kind of rum it is, or if it even has any almond flavor. Now first off on the color, that looks pretty close to our scratch-made Mai Tai. Right off the bat there's a strong scent of coconut. That's very sweet. It's definitely got coconut and pineapple in there, which are not ingredients in a Mai Tai. As far as cocktails go, it's a little on the sweet side, but it's actually pretty good for a tropical drink, It's just not the flavors of a Mai Tai. I would probably cut that sweetness down by adding a little bit of rum if I wanted to finish off this box. There's definitely a little bit of an alcohol bite there. It seems to have the appropriate amount of rum for a Mai Tai. Overall, not too bad. Let's move on to competitor number 2, On the Rocks. Now this one also says to pour over ice. The bottle describes this as a blend of light and dark rums. That's a good start. It also says it's a combination of orange and pineapple flavors. Again, even though most restaurants and bars are serving Mai Tais with all sorts of other fruit flavors, pineapple is not part of the recipe. So just like Bartender in a Box, there's no mention of almond flavor here. And as we can see, this one is pretty clear compared to our homemade Mai Tai. Now that may not mean there's not any orgeat in here. There are some clarified orgeats, but it's not a good sign. Overwhelmingly pineapple. It's somehow a little bitter, but also very pineapple-y, almost like unripe pineapple. And even though it comes off as bitter, unripe pineapple, it's very syrupy. It actually has a thick viscosity to it. There's a slight background flavor of something burnt. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be maybe a toasted almond flavor, or if it's coming from their rums, or some kind of artificial flavor to try and recreate a dark rum. It's not totally unpleasant, but I wouldn't be happy if I got served this at a bar. There's a sharp alcohol note. It's high on ethanol, like a cheap rum would have. The alcohol doesn't burn, but it does have that note of a cheap bottom shelf white rum. So despite what looks like some high-class packaging, a wooden cork, I would put this well behind a Mai Tai that comes out of a box. Let's go back to our homemade Mai Tai for a little palate cleanser after that one. Now next we have Myers Mai Tai. Now Myers is a brand I'm very familiar with. It's a dark rum, and typically I wouldn't use a dark rum in a Mai Tai. Now yes, I did use some dark colored rums in my Mai Tai, but dark rum as a category doesn't mean that it's aged. It usually gets its color from artificial coloring. Myers Dark Rum isn't necessarily the rum I would go to for a Mai Tai, or at least not for the entire recipe. I might use a split of a Jamaican rum and a little bit of Myers Dark. So let's give this one a try. Same way as before, we'll pour it over one big rock of ice. So already we have that same crystal clear color as the last one, and it's a little pink in color. So the only thing this bottle is telling me is it was made with rum and certified color. I don't know what color tastes like, but we'll give it a try. And on the back, it's bottled in Louisville, Kentucky. Hot spot for tiki. I can't identify what fruit it's trying to be, but it definitely smells like candy. And it tastes like candy. And follows through with a bitter alcohol burn. I would describe the flavor as fruity. I'm just not sure what kind of fruit. It's an odd flavor. It's recognizable, but very artificial. Again, it feels a little thick. I would expect my homemade one, using a homemade orgeat, to be the thicker one. But I think it's the sugar content in here that's really thickening things up. You can see it in the glass. It's just packed with as much sugar as this liquid can hold. This is not a good Mai Tai, or a Mai Tai at all. Okay, we're halfway through. And I think in the morning, I'm going to regret doing this video. Not so much for the alcohol, but for all of the sugar. Our next one is Cutwater's Tiki Rum Mai Tai. I have had this one before, and the way I remember it, it was pretty harsh. So let's serve it up the same way as the others. Now color, not too far off of our homemade one. It's maybe a little lighter, but it's not an odd orange shade, so that's a good start. All I can smell is citrus and, of course, sweetness. That is much less harsh than I remember it. But once again, this isn't a Mai Tai. It's got some tropical flavors, but it runs pretty flat. It's not as unpleasant as Myers or On the Rocks, but it's just a little weak. Flavor-wise, there's something tropical here, mostly pineapple. I can't tell if there's any orange in there. Not really getting any almond. Overall, the flavor is pretty flat and a little weak. That may be due to the fact that this is only 12% alcohol, where over here we were dealing with about 20%. It is refreshing, it's just not a Mai Tai. In the world of pre-mixed cocktails, I've heard really good things about Post Meridian, which is our next Mai Tai. Now right here on the label, it does say it's a blend of Caribbean rums, 100% real lime juice, orange curacao, and almond orgeat. That is the recipe for a Mai Tai. Got high hopes for this one. Let's give it a try. All right, that's a really good start. It looks nearly identical to our homemade Mai Tai. I can smell almond and orange right off the bat, and there's definitely those dark rum notes. It's a little sweeter than I like my Mai Tais, but that is a Mai Tai. They're definitely using slightly different rums, maybe a slightly different variety of lime, but it's recognizable as a Mai Tai. It's pretty good. I would be perfectly happy if somebody served this to me at a bar. While it's a little sweet for my tastes, it's definitely in the ballpark for what a Mai Tai should be. This one is definitely taking the lead now as our best pre-mixed Mai Tai so far. And now on to our last true cocktail. We're going to use this Stirrings mix. Now this bills itself as a blend of pineapple, orange, and cranberry juice. One of those things belongs in a Mai Tai. Well, really, orange curacao belongs in a Mai Tai, not orange juice. So I'm expecting very little from this one. Now we made it exactly to the recipe using 3 ounces of mix to 1.5 ounces of rum. To keep things fair, I did use the 2 rums that I made my homemade Mai Tai with. I mixed this one up off camera. Let's give it a try. Right off the bat, you can see that cranberry juice having an effect. It's definitely much more orange than it should be. It also foamed up when I shook it. That's a little unusual for a Mai Tai. No. 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 The thing you get most here is cranberry. This is a berry flavored cocktail, where a Mai Tai is a tropical citrus drink. I really wouldn't even call a Mai Tai tropical. Well, it's a tiki drink. The only fruit flavor it has in there is lime. This is a citrus drink. It's an evolved daiquiri. It shouldn't taste like berries. It's still not the worst tasting one that's up here, but it is definitely the farthest from being a Mai Tai. Now, I've had other products from Stirrings before. They're usually a pretty good company. A lot of their cocktail mixers and ingredients are pretty good, but they missed the mark on this one. Why they didn't just go with lime juice and mixed in cranberry, pineapple, and orange, I don't know. If I was them, I would go back to the drawing board and come back with a citrus-forward lime, orange mix for a Mai Tai. I know that that's a little close to a margarita, but that's what a Mai Tai is. A Mai Tai is a rum margarita with some added almond flavor. All right, the bonus round. This isn't a canned cocktail, it is a beer, but it says Mai Tai. I saw it in the store, figured it would be a good one to try. That's actually pretty good. No, it's not a Mai Tai. It's malty, it is a beer, but it is fruit forward. My favorite beers are fruit beers and sours, and this has a lot of the tartness of a sour without being an actual sour. Definitely fruit forward. There's probably some pineapple in here, definitely some lime. If you're looking for a carbonated drink, if you can get High Wire Brewing beers in your area, you might want to give this one a try. I really like this. So the clear winner here is definitely Post Meridian as far as pre-made cocktails go. Still, none of those came close to beating my own Mai Tai. I definitely got to give credit to Bartender in a Box. That was not bad. If you're having a party and you don't want to be behind the bar all night, that's not a bad choice. And a shout out to High Tide Brewing. I'm not sure how big their distribution network is, but if you can get this, I would definitely try it. Like I said, I like fruit forward beers, and it's nice to see something other than an IPA from a small brewery. So I'm going to call my wife downstairs, and we're going to try and finish all of this off and regret it in the morning. I hope you liked the video. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.